Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Whatever time it is, wherever you're coming from, Cowboys Nation, you know the drill. Welcome to the Double XO Show.
Cowboys Nation, welcome back to the Double XO Show. I am your host, Zach White, and with me, as always, the lovely Camber Michelle. What is going on?
What's happening?
Man, living the dream, coming off a high of 6-1. Wow.
I'm telling you, it was something to be there. It was something
you were
to
in
be
the
there.
stadium. How was it?
It's a beautiful stadium.
Yes.
Beautiful stadium. Really nice. Their fans are a little extra. I would have thought they'd be a little louder. They weren't.
No.
Gosh, if anybody
The
saw that
horns
video.
and everything.
Yeah, I threw up a video because I was having some adult beverages with my family beforehand, and
Saw that. I can't imagine.
If I hear that skull one more time.
The land of the cheese curd.
Yes, yeah, but it was a great stadium. It's a lot of fun. It's a little different of a vibes because you're downtown and there's no parking, so the tailgate thing wasn't quite the same. They don't get you in and out as quickly as they can at AT&T.
Yeah.
I mean, escalators go down after a game. None of them need to go up. But
right, yeah.
Other than that, I mean, the atmosphere was electric. We were probably 40% of the crowd, and we got loud there. I can tell you that much. I did have my family yell after Coop would catch something. They're like, "Why are you booing?" Like, we're not booing.
Coop.
Right, exactly. But it was an amazing experience to be there, especially for that game.
That's awesome, and you could see too. You could just watching the game. You could hear the crowd cheering and stuff. And I was like, it feels like we're traveling well this year. I will say that
we are.
We're traveling better at other people's stadiums than we are at our own damn stadium. So let's get that fixed.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, 6-1 never felt so good. But as they say, one game at a time. We're moving on to the Denver Broncos. And before we do that, real quick, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Go to starboysnetwork.com. As always, we've got some really great content, some great writers for the Starboys Report, so definitely tune into that. And we're going to have a little fun right now. It is the tweet of the week. Basically, our good friend Kelly K9, great follow, make sure you follow him, but he comes out, he says, remember that one time Sean Merriman made this freezing cold take, and it's Sean Merriman on Speak for Yourself, and basically what he said, this was in 2019, that it would be the worst mistake in the history of the Cowboys if they paid Dak franchise money, at that point in time, only $30 million. So,
our Dallas Cowboys fans gonna make me address y'all the way y'all should be addressed, all right? Y'all have a great team. You got a great team this year. Stop it. Stop all the damn Super Bowl talk. We're not even halfway through the damn season yet. Come on. You got a great team. Let them boys play. Let them play a game. Let them have a few good games before y'all start calling out Super Bowl. Y'all bring this on yourselves every single year. Stop it. See.
Truly, this guy is a joke. To come in there to say that from the get-go, and then to turn it around into some weird thing about us talking about Super Bowls. Nobody even said anything about a Super Bowl. Kelly K9 called him on his stuff, and he got hurt about it. He got butthurt, and he felt like he needed to come back and say something towards us, which was really weak. And if you read the thread, it was great. It was weak. Great because everybody, all the Cowboys fans were just attacking this guy, and there was some really funny stuff on there. But he was trying to come back, and it was really bad. He went to the mama joke, and it was really bad. I feel bad for him. Sorry, Sean Merriman. I know you're just upset that you got passed up on from the Cowboys, and we went with DeMarcus Ware instead. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. So.
And it's kind of hard to have him talk about rings.
Ooh, really is. Really
just
is.
Saying.
I respect former players. I know what it takes to get to that point, but
Right.
I can't. I mean, you have a certain level. You have a certain level of respect, and then I can't get behind it. I can't get behind it.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
another one with Wiley and Speak for Yourself, and I can't even watch that show, but he had some stuff that he came out with about mental health and some of the things that are going on there, and I have to tune that stuff out. I can't even get into. There was a whole thing on that, but we're done. We're passing that up. Let's get to this game. More important stuff. It's the Denver Broncos this week. They are 4-4, and they are pretty injury riddled. Cam, go ahead and give us the rundown on the injury report this week.
Well, for us, we are looking at that Dorrance Armstrong was a full practice, so that's fantastic. We've got a question about Amari Cooper and the hamstring at this point still. Hopefully he has that softball on the sidelines again and can help take care of, what he needs to there.
Yes.
We learned just a little bit ago, we heard Brian Broaddus on 105.3 The Fan say that CeeDee Lamb's ankle is not an issue and he's a go.
That's huge.
So,
that's huge.
Yes, that's really huge, especially if, we've got the Amari situation.
Exactly.
So,
Michael Gallup is back this week, though, correct?
He is back this week. It's still that's still the big question. Yeah. And per Mike McCarthy during the press conference this morning, said that he's got some things to show on the field before they can make that decision. So he may be more of a game day type thing that we go through with him.
Okay.
So, yeah. Donovan Wilson, full practice.
Okay.
We do have Tyron Smith out.
Tyron Smith is
out. Yes, yeah. And from my understanding, from a source has told me, it is not so much the bone spur. It's a high ankle sprain that keeps getting re-injured over and over again. So things get better, and then he falls back. But he's definitely out on this. So
that is a shot. Mm-hmm. That is a shot. And we're going to talk about that here in just a minute and a little bit more as to what we're going to do with that position. But my understanding is that Jarwin is also, he has a rib?
It's a hip.
Or it's a
hip.
It's a hip. It's a hip.
It's his hip.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good.
But we've got McKeon back, complete full practice. So, and I don't know if they'll go sprinkle McKeon, who will play over that one. McKeon is by far, I believe, our best blocking tight end. So that's really great that we're getting him back on the field.
Definitely. And on the other side, with the Broncos right now, there is a lot of injuries going on over there. And I just, I don't feel bad for our opponents. But it feels like a little bit of like what they're going through is what we kind of went through last year with just the injuries just stacking up. But it looks like their left tackle Bowles is going to be out. So, of course, there are some familiar faces that we could potentially see at that left tackle position, and we'll kind of dive into that once we start doing the breakdown of this game. Noah Fant, their tight end, is out as well. And I'm going to let you take this one. The other tight end, I'm putting it on you. Yes. Let's hear it.
He would. Oh, I had it before, too. We Albert.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Alberto.
Yeah.
We're not going to do the
Albert Oak. Yeah. I tried, and I had it before, and I lost it. That's that's a hard one.
Besides not being able to say his name, this is a guy that I really actually liked in the draft. He was a very speedy guy. I don't think it was this past year before, but he was a really speedy tight end, and I studied a lot of his game. Never could pronounce his name, but he's out anyway, is what it's looking like, or he's listed as questionable. I believe he's fully out, though. So they're going to be relying on some third-string guys, and Saubert, I guess, is one of those guys that they might be relying on. But more importantly, guys like Darby is questionable, and we haven't got the updated injury report on some of this, so some of this may be subject to change, but except for the ones that we're hearing that are out officially. But Darby is questionable, so that could be really big for us as well. We know Kyle Fuller is a really good cornerback, and then you got the rookie out there, Patrick Surtain. He's another really good cornerback, so that's a good room. But as far as, their line is just shook up. Even their backups, I know they have some linebackers that are out too.
Bradley Chubb's
Bradley
on
Chubb is
IR,
on IR. Yeah.
and their nose tackle Purcell is questionable. Then you've got Jones, their right defensive edge is
Yes.
questionable.
They trade
They
Von Miller this week, and he's
right.
over there with the Rams now, which perfect timing for us. I don't love that he went to the Rams, considering.
Yeah. I don't love he went there at all.
I don't either. I do
Not
not
at
either.
all.
I'm glad it came at this time if he was to go there anyway, but
Right.
yeah, that was kind of a pretty big blow for us. But
Yeah.
that's fine. It's one game at a
We'll deal-
time.
Yeah, we'll deal with them later.
Exactly. We'll talk about that later. We'll clean up on
Yeah.
these guys. But
Yeah.
let's go and dive into our next segment, and this is officially Cam's Catch or Mess. And the first question I have for you, Cam, is the front office. Did they fail to make a mistake by not making a trade before the trade deadline?
Yeah, I absolutely think they did. You see, we just made a perfect example. The Rams went out and grabbed Von Miller. In my opinion, we could have gotten two different positions that I think would have been those big what if kind of places that we keep questioning about for our push towards the postseason and inevitably what we all would like to see is the Super Bowl. And with Urban going out, and we don't know when we're going to get him back later in the season, I would have loved to have seen us get some kind of interior defensive lineman. And I know that Brown has been doing a great job there in corner. It's still, we don't know what Joseph is going to do because we're not seeing him on the field enough right now. And we have, Nashon Wright, he's clearly a project. He's not anybody that I'm looking for to be a factor this season. So one of those corners, we heard that Denver possibly was shopping Kyle Fuller. And he could have been one of those guys that came in and made the difference. So yes, I think the front office should have made a play. And in true Stephen Jones fashion, we did not.
So this, in your opinion, was a mess.
Oh yeah, it's a mess.
So, there are some things to say to that, right? Apparently, they were part of the trade talks
For Von Miller.
For Von Miller with the Broncos.
Right.
So it's at least, I will say that they at least kind of put their feelers out and they tried. Maybe they just weren't willing to give up those two, a second and a third, I believe it was, in this coming year's draft. But something that's interesting to me and that I kind of go back to with this is we still got guys coming back. We still got guys coming back from injury, and I think maybe that's the way they're looking at it. Okay, this is our free agents. These are our guys. They're coming well rested, and these are not just small players. They're big players, right? You still got, again, like
True.
Michael Gallup and then, DeMarcus Lawrence. You're going to shore up that middle a little bit too as well on the defensive side of the ball.
They're going to have to look at who are they getting rid of on the 53 when they do come back.
And that's going to be another thing. Yeah.
So you've got that too.
So yeah, but I can't say that I'm really disappointed in them not making a move here. I think, you can look at it two ways. You're like, okay, we're in this for a Super Bowl. It feels like our year. That's the feeling surrounding the room. And we really want to dive headfirst into that and really try to get one. And so you go empty the clip and go get what you need to go finish the job and get. But I don't think they're seeing it like that. I think they're really proud of the youth that they have in the room. And I know there's a lot of free agents next year. And I think they're thinking about it like that from a financial standpoint. If we do bring in a guy, can we afford to even keep him at this point with all the other guys that we're going to have to pay? So that's just another way to look at it. But I don't necessarily disagree with you because the window is tight. It's right there, and it feels like we could really just, or almost, we can just make a real run for this. So, but moving on from that, next question is, with everything going on with the injuries, and we're at a point where seems like to be a weaker opponent, should we limit Amari Cooper's snaps, or should we give him rest this game specifically?
Nope. Let the man ball. Let him play. He clearly has a really good hold on his injuries and how to play through them. We saw him, like I mentioned earlier, with the softball on the side of the field. If you didn't know, Amari had the list of injuries, because it's more than just the hamstring, because we heard that from the sounds from the sideline. I think he's playing through it all well. He's kind of limiting himself. The other thing I think it's very important for him to be involved in the game is that we heard that he was actually breaking down their secondary and saying, "Oh no, we got them. They can't keep up with us. We've got,
Yes.
he was coming completely from a coach's point of view, how he was dissecting that secondary. And I think it was a huge, huge factor in them being able to play like they did. So no, that's a catch I
Let
don't
him
know.
catch it.
No,
I don't know.
yeah, let him
Let
catch
him
it.
catch it. So it's a catch. We're gonna.
It's a catch. Right. Let Amari do what Amari does best.
Yes, and that is something I wanted to say too. Like we're getting to that point where we feel like we can rest against some of these weaker opponents and weaker competition. We're not there yet. I'm not saying that we can't necessarily, but any given Sunday, any of these teams can come out. The Patriots were one of those teams, and they're starting to look like a better team now. But you just never know what you're really going to get with a team. So you need all your players. If they're healthy, let them play. You know what I mean? We're not at that point. We're not getting a bye week yet. We're fighting. That's a really key contributor to all this too. Is right now you got Aaron Rodgers out this week, possibly even the week after.
Right.
We're the way we need to start thinking about this. Yeah, it's one game at a time, but we're wanting to be in contention. Maybe we're the team that gets that home field advantage and that bye. So that's something we definitely need to kind of remind ourselves going forward. But this next question is, and it's a little skewed because of kind of some news that we got today, but let's go ahead and jump in, dive straight in. Nasheki to start over Collins at left tackle. Is this a catch or is this a mess?
It's a catch. We're going to let Lael do what Lael does best. And we're going to let Steele play his complete role as being a swing tackle, where he's got strength on both sides and he's going to have help with him, being over there. We play it as it is.
Yes, so the catch is not that Nasheki could start over him.
Right.
But
right.
the catch is that Steele will be the one who can swing
Right.
from one side to the other. And we feel like we got full confirmation on that from Jeff Kavanaugh a little bit earlier. He tweeted out saying that basically Dak had said that is going to be the setup, that you're going to have Steele at left tackle and then you're going to have Collins in his original position at right tackle. So that clears up a lot of things. It clears up a lot of concern on my end because that was a big concern to me. I'm like, oh, no. I don't want to see. I know we've made fun of him in the past. We've called him concrete feet Nasheki. And he did okay this past game, but I wasn't relying on that to really hold up our team. So big concern there. I'm glad. I feel like that's squared away now. I'm really comfortable with that. Somebody did bring up the fact of, would you rather have Lael Collins at your left tackle? He's played that position before. Do you trust him more as a vet there, or do you trust Steele more? That's kind of that is an interesting kind of subject. But I know that Steele has done some swing tackle work as well, so should be a problem. Should be a problem.
But no,
I like the
I think
setup.
we're good.
But
we'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's continue to roll with this into the matchup section of this. So first and foremost, there's going to be some really, really good matchups. But we're going to go ahead and start on our side, on the defensive side of the ball right now. And there's some good things that we're looking at. Cam, go ahead, break it down.
Well, with Garrett Bowles being out, Randy Gregory, what's they going to do? What are they going to do? Calvin Anderson? So, and my
Cam
understanding
Fleming.
is, yeah, and Cam Fleming. And we know about him,
We do.
So, and my understanding is, and I didn't hear the report about today about where Micah was practicing, but Micah yesterday for the first half took snaps with the edge rushers. So there's a little plan there. That Micah's
they are prepared.
gonna have some fun.
Yeah. Sack lunch. No. It's going down. I'm ready for this. Oh, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
They're banged up.
Yeah.
They're banged up on their
They are.
offensive line. I just feel
They
like
are.
these guys are really going to eat it. Poor Teddy. Poor Teddy. It's going to be a very long day for Teddy back there, man. I really... We'll see how it works out. They're going to be looking to run the ball, I think, personally, and they're going to be trying to get the ball out quick. If that's the smartest thing for them to do. So I think look at a lot of that, maybe some jet sweeps. Judy is back this week, so he's probably going to get a little bit of love, I imagine. Cortland Sutton, I was going to say,
Cortland's been having some good games.
Yeah,
so.
they got some okay weapons.
Right.
Melvin Gordon isn't a bad running back, and then you got his counterpart there. They kind of got the 1-2 punch going on. The rookie.
But then you also look at their record, the teams they beat.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely lost to the good teams on their schedule, and they beat the poor teams. So there's no real super strong point, but yeah. Agreed.
It doesn't feel like this is this is one of those teams you usually say, you kind of got to worry about them a little bit, because it could be a trap game. This doesn't really feel like that. It doesn't feel like they've played up to their opponents, right? So this really does feel like a rollover game. And I mean, again, anything can happen, but we're still going to continue to kind of to break it down. I like the Diggs versus Judy matchup, just old teammates. Kind of going back at it again. Like I'm excited to see that. That's one of the matchups that I'm excited to see, just from a fan standpoint, more so than really where they're going to get beat. And again, Teddy's going to have to get rid of that ball really fast. You're swimming in the water with sharks, buddy. I mean, there are guys just surrounding, waiting to grab that ball, and Diggs is one of them. And you know what? Brown has even kind of showed up as well. He's having. We finally can say Brown is having a decent. Anthony Brown's having a decent season.
He really is. He really is. He heard us. He heard all of us.
Yeah, the chip on his shoulder. I mean, it got bigger. It got a little bit bigger. Yeah. It grew. The tattoo.
And let's not forget Dorrance Armstrong is back, and Dorrance
can do some things. Dorrance can do some damage. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a long day for Teddy.
Oh, it's going to be such a long day. I do.
Yeah.
And if we're going to the other side of the ball, I don't see us struggling. And this is a big, important part of this, and we didn't really mention it and kind of wanted to wait to mention it. But Dak. Dak is looking like he is officially healthy. So there was some questions. It was the Dak watch, right? We were all kind of concerned. Are we going to hold him back? Are we going to give him another week of rest to just see how the injury does? And because it's not that big of a game, we can afford that. No. He said he's back. It's safe to say. He said it's safe to say I will play on Sunday. So,
like Michael Irving said on his interview with the Fan, he was like, let Dak play if he can play. You don't look to Cooper Rush for lightning to strike twice.
He did. Yep. Caught that quote. Yep. Yeah.
Do not.
So true.
Let the man play.
No. Yeah. You don't want to risk that. That was one of those games. It was special, and I'm glad what he was able to provide for us in that situation.
And we enjoyed his dad dancing on the sideline.
Beautiful story. It was a beautiful story. It was like an old Jason Garrett coming in for Troy Aikman back in the day kind of story, right? It was everybody was happy to see it, but Dak Prescott is the QB1 for a reason. So we want to stay with that trend.
Yeah.
But Amari Cooper, if he does play, CeeDee Lamb's looking like he is going to play. The left tackle, right tackle thing is going to be kind of taken care of. I like our wide receiver matchups, and the one that I want to see really badly is the old matchup between CeeDee Lamb and Patrick Surtain II, PS2. If y'all watched this game back at, I believe it was Surtain's freshman year, CeeDee roasted him. He roasted him. It was like your welcome to college football kind of thing.
Yep.
I'm expecting to see some of the same thing in this game as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been looking forward to that one too. It's going
to be a great matchup. I think
it is.
Surtain's going to be more prepared than he was in the past, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
He's developed. He's developed.
Oh, yeah.
But It's going to be
Yeah. He's going to give up his first touchdown.
there it is. There it is, the first touchdown. Finally.
First touchdown.
It's going to be the CeeDee Lamb.
It's time.
It's time. It's
Yeah.
time. But I mean,
Yeah.
overall, they got some good cornerbacks. I like their back end of their room right now. I mean, they're really I believe they're 10th against the pass overall right now. They're 9th against the rush. And a lot of this has to do with Von Miller being there, and now he's gone. They're second in points allowed per game as well, with a 17 total points. So this isn't a bad defense when you start thinking about that secondary and what they truly are, with guys like Simmons back there who has 3 interceptions, Kareem Jackson, the old vet, and then you got Darby on one side if he's healthy, and then Fuller. We know they all brought him in, and then the young Rook out there. So they got a really good setup. I mean, in their secondary, their defensive line with Chubb out and everything, that is the part that doesn't concern me. The linebackers. Their
linebacker room is thin, super thin. They've got what, 5 of them, 4 or 5 that are out.
Yeah,
like IR and out.
Yes.
They are really, really hurting. So
yeah, that linebacker spot, and that's something that we can take advantage of with the run game as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm expecting to see quite a bit of that. Honestly, I feel like it was more,
especially with their nose tackles questionable. And his backup are questionable.
Yes.
So they're probably having to look to do some very interesting things there in the middle, and so Zeke and Pollard could really have themselves a day.
I feel like they're going to be blitzing a lot. I feel like that's probably going to be a little bit of what they're looking at going into this game, and I don't know, man. I feel like how many times do we have to prove this? How many times do we have to say this? I mean, it was the same thing with Minnesota. They stacked the box. They stacked the box thinking they were going to get Cooper Rush to throw.
Right.
And he still lit him up for like 300-something yards. So
right.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Who are you going to guard? And especially if all these receivers are healthy, it's just, God. It's going to be a long day for Broncos. You know what? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that, because last time we said that was a Patriots game, and it was really tight game. So I won't say that. I will just say, I hope that you guys have a good day there, Broncos Nation. Enjoy it.
We appreciate you coming to the AT&T Stadium and
enjoy our large theater screen there for you guys, so you can watch.
Have a safe trip home.
Ass whooping.
We went there anyways.
I love it. I had to. I couldn't help it. It's too much fun this season. It's too much fun. You almost start to feel invincible. You're like, what are y'all gonna do about it? What are you gonna do?
I mean, I'm to the point now after seeing Kansas City the last couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
And I'm actually traveling to that game also.
Yes.
And
huge.
When initially planned that, I was like, oh man, am I going to go all the way there? And it's going to be this, At first, I didn't even know if it'd be a dogfight when I made the plans. Then I was like, oh, it's going to be a dogfight. And now I'm like, not so worried. What's that defense going to do against our offense?
Yeah,
so,
it's not concerning anymore. It was a big concern, and now it's not so much concern. I'm not going to take anything away from them. We'll see what happens. They may turn things around. I know they've been struggling, but it's not as a concerning game as it was.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I'm not really. The one that I think that we're going to have to focus on more than anything is the Raiders on Thanksgiving.
Circle that one.
That one's circled. Yeah,
circle that
definitely.
one.
And then the Saints have kind of come out of nowhere also, which is kind of interesting also. But now that they've got a little bit of a quarterback problem down there, we'll see after this weekend. So yeah.
I'm also circling, and by this time in the season, who knows where we'll be on each side of it. We may not. I still imagine we'll be playing this game, but my game that's circled is Arizona. We've talked about this before.
Oh, yeah.
I'm circling the hell out of that game. I want to see Kyler Murray go down. We've talked about it and how he
Right,
has
finally lose in
has a
AT&T.
loss in AT&T.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the one that I'm definitely circling.
Right.
But what is your prediction for this game right now with Denver?
38-13. We're smoking them.
That is wonderful. I was gonna go right there with you.
Yeah.
Now I gotta one up it. Damn. Now I gotta one up it. That's fine. That's 40 burger. It's 40 burger.
Well,
We're dropping.
Perfect.
Yep. We're dropping. We'll say we'll drop 42. 42 to
like that.
yeah. Oh yeah. 42 to 17. I'll give them a little extra field goal there, just for fun. I love it. All right, guys. So, again, make sure that you stop by starboysnetwork.com. Check out all the great content. Like and subscribe to this channel because it's only getting better. I mean, it feels like every week we're getting just even more quality content, and it's just growing. The podcasts are coming. I know we got another podcast coming up with Cam and Jess. That's going to be another great one. So, and we got some other news coming up as well about another podcast. So make sure to, as always, stay tuned in on what we're doing. And we're going to have some really great guests coming on, hopefully here in the very near future as well. So make sure to stay tuned to that. But until then, Cowboys Nation, we out. Have a good one. It's going to be Sunday. It's going to be rocking at AT&T. Let's go.